Okay, guys, to watch this video for November 28th, which would be Monday. Before I get into that real quick, I'm making this video about noon on Sunday, November 27th, which means from this point, if you're watching it right away, there's about 10 hours left in the Black Friday weekend sale. We pretty much extended it for the whole weekend. The recorded version of the day trading course is literally like picking my brain and Wayne's brain. We're both consistently profitable traders. It's like 9 hours straight of picking our brains. You will be presented with everything we do to make money every day trading the markets. And then also the live trading chat room memberships have been rolled back to the year we opened, the prices from the year we opened, 2004. So none of this will be revisited as far as prices like this after 10 o'clock tonight. So I'm going to leave it at that. But we're looking at the SPY here. All-time highs again. Again, not much volume because it's a holiday week, but we'll get back to hopefully a little bit of volume on Monday. And just the only reason I look at the SPY is to make sure that there's no shock events, right? And I can just trade as normal. So the SPY market is extremely strong. So we'll continue to watch the kind of stocks we watch because we're making good money in them. It sounds weird saying that and then bringing up dry ships, but I am going to have dry ships on watch, DRYS. It's that one that made that crazy move all the way to 120 in pre-market that morning before it got halted. Now it's all the way back down in the fives. Going to 15-minute candles here. Let's zoom in a little bit, take that crazy stuff out of it. It never broke. This is the opening 15-minute candle on Friday. Remember, Friday was, excuse me, half a day. It never broke its early high. And you can see the volume that came in on, not Thursday. Thursday was a holiday. The volume that came in on Wednesday when it did kind of push through its early high. That's generally when you can make some money, right, on a day trade on a stock like this. That's everyone's kind of looking for. Well, I don't know if everyone's looking. I'm looking for a bounce. So that's an example of what I'll be looking for on Monday is a narrow range maybe, and then a break of its early high for a trade. I am not an investor. I'm in cash every night, so keep that in mind. So dry ships, as crazy as this chart is, I do want to watch it. If it does rip and I miss it and we all miss it or whatever, I'll start to look for some of the other shippers, as sympathy plays. So anyway, I do want to have that one on the chart. CRM, let me pan out a little bit here. Gapped up on earnings about a week ago, went all the way to 80.37. Well, now it's down to 73.73. So it's a pretty good sell-off after earnings. I don't have it on this chart, but it's sitting right at the 50-day. You can't see it on this chart. So I think it's a good candidate for a bounce. And you kind of had a narrow range on Friday as well. So watching this one for a potential bounce. OPTT held up fairly well on Friday. I want to watch this one for a potential long. If you switch to 15-minute candles, you kind of see it went to 340 and then 340 again in the afternoon and kind of flagged. So kind of like it, maybe the 342 area might be worth a shot as a potential long. Remember, as a day trade. SKLN has had some huge pops recently. And then if you go to 15-minute candles, you've got kind of the 2-day high here, 235 and then 233 on Friday. This was Wednesday. Remember, the market was closed on Thursday. So if SKLN gets up around 236, breaking that 2-day high, maybe we get another big pop. I always like to watch stuff that's made crazy moves like this because it tells me, hey, there's a stock that can move. If you've got it on a chart and you catch an entry on an intraday basis at one of those inflection points, you can make 10, 15, 20, 40% within 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. So that's why as a day trader, I want to have stuff like this on a chart. ATOS. This one's a little obscure, but it had this big volume pop back here. Remember, big volume is relative, and for this one, this big volume spike was barely over 1 million shares. As a matter of fact, as I'm talking, I'm going to check the float on this. See what FinViz says. It says 3.4 million in the float. But just looking at the chart, it's interesting because you had a kind of a 2-day pop to 240, sorry, and then it came back down and it's just going sideways. Tried to break out over this $2 area a few sessions ago and failed, and then it's right back up again. So I kind of like it over Friday's high, 205. You look to the left, that might be enough to get it to like 209, which could then maybe revisit these 240 highs. So it's a nice setup, right? I want to keep an eye on it, but it really doesn't have much volume, so it's one of my least favorite going into Monday, but it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. AVXL gapped up a few sessions ago, sold off, and it is right back up near that highs. And whole number breaks can be powerful anyway, so if this can push through 4, we might get a nice move in AVXL. MIRN. Had a nice 2-day pop here, and now it's kind of flagging. I want to watch that one for a potential long. SKLN had a really nice move on Friday. I actually called this one. I was on the microphone at the time, which made this kind of interesting when this started to come up. I was doing the like mid-morning Q&A session. Let me switch to 2-minute candles so I can show you exactly where I called it. I was doing the mid-morning Q&A session, and this thing started to get volume. I said over the mic, I said, hey everybody, this SKLN is getting volume. It could be an entry somewhere around 370 is where it was when I mentioned it. It flagged, and then whoops, and then I was off for my afternoon walk, and then it ripped. So I know I got actually got a text from my partner saying, hey SKLN, thanks for that. It's still running. And you know the stop on it was I think like a dime below, something like that. So it was a nice little pop flag and then a huge move. And because of this, just like that SCON, this thing's been making really big moves lately, right? You had the inside day, and so having this one on watch paid off, right? I want to watch that again. I want to watch it really all week. That's SKLN. And then SPU, this is a little bit obscure, but had this huge move back here, nice secondary move, and it just keeps putting in lower highs, but now it's got really nice support at this $6 area. Gapped up a few sessions ago, about 4 sessions ago, sold off, found support again, and it's starting back up. So if you look to the left of where it closed, 763, it went to 796. So I'd like this, you know, through 8 maybe. If you look to the left, this thing might make a move up to and maybe through 888, that high from 4 sessions ago. So this one's interesting. SPU, super low float, can move at times. And then speaking of low float, LEDS also had that pop. This was on my watch list video a few days ago, or a couple days ago after this pop. Inside, quiet day, and it's kind of finding support. So I want to watch this one too. It's thin, but if it can get, I don't really have a number picked out. I just want to watch it. If it gets any kind of volume, it might be worth a grab if it offers a proper stop as well. So again, one of my least favorites because it's a tough trader and it's a thinner stock, but you know it's worth watching too because sometimes, as you can see back here, this thing can really move. This day it went from 440 to 1135. Anytime you see something like that, and then just a few sessions ago it went from 378 to 549, huge percentage gain. So you got to learn to watch these, and they might just offer you a nice secondary setup a few days later. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see everybody on Monday.